Hey, Salty here, and welcome to another Salty's Custom Cards, where I design 4 cards under a certain theme, and then you get to vote which one you like the most, and the winner of that card will be going to the finals, and which then will be the one last vote, where you would vote which card you would like the most out of those, and then I would submit that card to Direwolf to become a real card once I reach 1,750,000 community points. That's a lot of points. And as you can see up there, stupid webcam, I've only reached 29.66% of my goal. So yeah, long way to go. And I've been doing this streaming and being a viewer for about a year. So before I show off those cards, let's just talk about the winner of the last videos. Treasure Map. I thought this was the weakest card out of the 4 that I designed. And turns out everyone liked it the most, but maybe at the same time people did not realize where to vote, too. Because I think one person in the last video description didn't know where to vote until I actually explained it in a comment. So yeah, to vote for these cards, just go to the description below in the YouTube video or in the Reddit link, and there should be either a vote link or the word vote next to the link. And you click that and just pick the card you think was the best. So yeah. Anyways, back to Treasure Map. I just found this card to be too basic and maybe a little too strong. Because, sure, it's depleted when you draw, you get the Plunder, thus turning another either a useless power or a useless card you didn't want right away into power. And at the same time, I'm thinking, besides Plundering, maybe it would have been better if it draw a Treasure Trove, right? Because Plunder can be pretty strong as a mechanic, but it's not like cycles. I kind of want to see a real cycle mechanic where you put a card back in your deck and get to draw a card when you pay a certain... I don't know. I would love to see cycle. But anyways, enough about this card. I gotta remember, I gotta point that way because the camera's flipped or whatnot. Let's get on with the first card, shall we? I forgot to mention the actual theme of today's video, which is based on the Xulta universe, which is like an alternate universe from the main Eternal universe, where I don't really pay attention to the lore, but all I can remember is certain unit types didn't exist, like Grenadins, and everyone wore these rock piercings all over their bodies, and giants, which are usually just giant yetis, were now actually giant sand people, and also, as you see here, that the Grenadins were actually replaced by these things called Totemites, which I always found them kind of interesting. It's like, instead of them being like living robots, would you say a robot's alive? I don't know, just little tiny robots. They're instead living pieces of wood or rock. And the name suggests, they pile up like totems. So anyways, enough about the Xulta universe, which I don't pay attention to lore. As we see our first card here, Totemite Trio, which is a fire times unit for cost 3 with, as you see here, 3 attack and 3 health, which has the following effects: Decay, Quick Draw, and Endurance, and Entomb, where when this thing dies, it plays a unit and it plays this unit, so it resummons it, but it transforms it into a 2/2 Totemite duo with Decay and Endurance. I just thought this would be more... I just thought this would be kind of funny to do. Where, as you see here, which took it from the art from the... I don't remember the name from that last unit with the mastery effects and whatnot. Like, it has free Totemite, and every time you kill it, one of them is removed. Where the one on top would be the Decay, the second would be Quick Draw, and the top would be the top one would be Quick Draw because he has the long pointy spear. The second one is Decay, and the third one's Endurance because, he has to have Endurance to be able to handle those two on top. And I have not much to say. This a card like this might be strong, but at the same time it's not, because when it dies, it transforms into... It actually just transforms into something different. You don't get to actually replay the card itself. So that's kind of a drawback, but you would mainly want to use this as a defender. more than anything. But it can also be an attacker since it has endurance and quick draw. Yeah, that's the idea. I thought it'd be cool that it can attack and be a defender. But if it dies, it starts losing those effects slowly, right? And decay. No, actually, decay with quick draw. That is kind of strong. What the fuck was I thinking? I made these cards, I don't know how many months ago. So I'm finally getting around to actually doing a video over them. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all I gotta say about this card. Let's just get on to our next one. Okay, next we have Focus Magic, which is a Fire Prime 2-cost spell, which has the following effect, which I realized I didn't actually type the wording in properly, or I forgot a certain word, where it draws the top spell that deals damage and increase the damage of each spell in your hand by 1. Then it has Decimate, increase the damage of each spell in your deck by 1. I'm surprised I decided to design a card like this because there's barely any uh, spell buff cards for your hands, or in the very least, a tutoring. No, what do you call this? A tutor? At least cards that help you draw damaging spells. And there's no and there's actually no spells or units that actually increase each damaging spell by 1 in your deck too. So I'm like, I think that would be a pretty good decimate effect. If you're willing to sacrifice 1 power, you'll increase all the spells damage in your deck by 1, right? Like, this could be a little too strong, because not only is it grabbing the top damaging spell of your deck, it's increasing all the damaging spells in your hand by 1. But at the same time, uh, when you usually try to build a spell damaging deck, usually most of the time, what's that one other choice? The other not choice. What's that one other card? Gemini's Choice. That had never actually seen any play, because that increases the damage in your hand by 1. But it was, and sure, it also turned into a unit into a 3/1 reckless unit. But you would think that people would mainly focus on the first effect, but no, people really didn't use it at all because it's too slow. And let's say you did draw it, you might not have any damaging spells in your hand. Where a card like this would be better because it actually guarantees you drawing that a damaging spell and increasing that one at least by 1. And then if you're willing to take away the power, like I already said, you can actually decimate, and then you're guaranteed to increase all the spells in your deck by 1. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Is it a little strong? OP? Maybe. But at the same time, we have cards that reduce spell damage, like the Thumping Operative. I remember using her when Endred was out of control. Oh, that was like fun to use against Endred decks. So, yeah. That's all I gotta say. This might be a little strong, but I would love to see it. Let's just get on with our next card, shall we? Okay, next we have Shavka's Flute, which is a free cost 1/0 fire weapon with the following effect. When you play Shavka's Song, it has double damage if the wielder is a bard. And the summon effect where you play Shavka's Song and Mastery 6, play Shavka's Song. It's literally just a weapon version of Endra, right? And when I first designed this card, I designed this before they actually did the update where they made following units a bard type. How many units weren't a bard? I know there was that Oni with Inspire. They finally turned that into a bard. And I think, what's his name? The guy with the guitar. He has 2 versions of himself. I can't remember his name. Diego? Yeah, Diego. I knew that was going to be a thing, so I'm like, I want to try to design a card that actually works well with bards, right? And Shavka's Song, its whole thing, where it's a bard playing music, right? And also, is Indra a bard? I think she's a bard now. And I really did like Shavka's Song. Sure, the original version of Endra kind of made it a little too strong, being a 2-cost, I believe she was, and then having the only 2 fire influence, and then, oh man, there was the Fire Times even deck that I made, but that wasn't the one I was thinking of first. There was the Fire Prime Shadow deck, where you would mainly have to try to play her constantly from the void, or use the effect to make more copies of her with the copy spell. It was fun. at first being someone playing with that deck, but being on the other end, it wasn't fun. And then when you get tired of playing that deck, that's all everyone was playing, right? Which is why I even made a deck to counter against that. But she's kind of tame now, and you don't see her anymore, so I don't see why you can't have a card like this. And also, seems kind of a fun idea. A card that's actually meant for a certain unit type. There are certain cards for certain unit types, mainly gunslingers, and maybe a few other races. I can't recall for any at the top of my head, but it would kind of make sense that you would start doing bards as well, right? Because, you know, you can use an instrument as a weapon. So, can this be too OP? Not really, because or can be equipped to a bard, because then the Shavka's songs have double damage. But at the same time, maybe what I could have done is increase the to a 4 cost and have additional fire influence. I don't know. Maybe it could have just been still 3-4 fire influence. I am not the best person at balancing out cards. I just like coming up with certain ideas for cards, right? So this might be a little too strong, but at the same time, when I submit submit the winner to Die Wolf, no matter what the winner may be, they're gonna do something to the card and balance it more out, right? Because they will be working with the person to decide how the card will actually turn out. So yeah, let's get on to our final card now, shall we? Okay, now we have Grodov's Arena, which is a fire time site that costs 5 with the following effect. When a unit with killer attacks and survives, advance Kairos' agenda, which are the following: Chant the Grodov, Kairos Choice, and Death Strike. All would have that gladiator theme to it, and the site itself, right? Seems like it's very suiting. It suits with it. Where, you know, if a unit survives, then it advances Kairos' agenda, and half the time when you use killer, depending if the unit's beefy or not, it might not likely survive. But also, what people could do is have a unit with 1 attack but a lot of health. Then that unit can just attack, and then it advances Kairos' choice. But then that might be a little too strong. So what maybe I should have done was, when the unit attacks with killer, kills its target and survives. I should have put that down instead. I'll put that as an update, I guess. We'll just say that. Let's say it also needs to kill its target, right? Because if it just attacks and survives, that's a little easier to pull off, right? Or who knows? You guys can decide in the comments below. But yeah. Also, I decided to go with Kairos because he's the Grodov's Arena's grand champion, right? Makes only sense. Should it be the current Kairos? I don't know. They could probably make a newer version if this card became a winner. But also, they might never go back to Xulta, or Xulta, however you pronounce that tribe, or universe, again, so let's say this card was the winner, and I submitted to Direwolf. They might just change the whole theme of the card. It might not even be Grodov's Arena. It could just be someone else's arena. Maybe they could probably turn this into a Prime's time deck, because Prime and Time have more killer mechanics going on than Fire, right? I don't know how to say that. So yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. So if you are interested in any of these cards, please vote in the description below. And also, even if you're not interested in any of these cards, I still think you should vote, only because the card you hate might become the winner, and you might not want to ever see that card in the game, so try to prevent it by voting for another card, right? So, anyways, thanks for watching. See you all next time. Bye. Well, that's the end of this video. If you want to see more in the future, why not subscribe to my channel? But in the meantime, why don't you check out these playlists? And I want to thank my patrons whose donations, big or small, really help support my channel. Anyways, hope to see you in the next video.